Now, the New York Times reported Monday that the United States has warned Israel against attacking Iran's nuclear targets ahead of the nuclear talks set to resume in Vienna next week. The U.S. saying the attacks are counterproductive. Israel, for its part, according to the report, rejecting the U.S. request. So, joining us now to discuss this report and the latest on Iran's nuclear capabilities is Dr. Fadi Essmaeel, a fellow at the International Institute for Counterterrorism at Raichman University and a former senior U.S. congressional staffer. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
So, first of all, what can you tell us about this New York Times report? I mean, it's a major disagreement between Israel and the United States.
Yes, and we have seen some signs of it in the past, and of course in the Manama conference, but we have seen it before. The idea, once the Biden administration decided that they are going to try and revisit the idea of an agreement with the Islamic Republic, that immediately created daylight and a very big one between Israeli approach, which were more similar to that of the previous president, and the approach of the current administration. And in that context, anything that would be done against the interests of the Islamic Republic, especially airstrikes and other kinds of hostile actions, flies in the face of U.S. efforts in Vienna and also in the efforts done behind the scenes to reach some sort of an agreement or advancement on the talks towards something that, well, I guess we cannot go back to the JCPOA as it was, but even if an interim agreement or something. So every time the Americans, the allies in the region, underscore the need for harsh action against the Islamic Republic, that causes trouble to the people or the diplomats or the negotiators, because that will immediately hardens the Iranian position. So yes, there is a very different approach between America and it's all of its allies in the Middle East, frankly, all of them.
Let's talk a minute about the Israeli position, because Netanyahu was a vehement opposer of the nuclear deal, Bennett as well, but we're hearing voices within the coalition that are in favor of a deal. What can you tell us about the Israeli position?
Well, there were many voices in the Israeli security establishment who were, well, saying in favor of the deal is almost a favorite. No, they just at the time saw it as the best that can be achieved at a given time. And that was true also when Mr. Netanyahu was the prime minister. And this is not a secret that there are many people in the Israeli security establishment who did not want to see JCPOA canceled or withdrawn from. And it's the same today. But look, that agreement is gone. It's dead. There's no way to go back. Physically, it's impossible. Iran today is not the same Iran it was 5 years ago. It has a much bigger stockpile of uranium, of enriched uranium. They're in a whole different place. So that agreement is done. So the question is, what can be achieved now? And even the little that may be possible to be achieved now, nobody can be sure that it will be there. Nobody can be sure.
Sorry, we are out of time, but thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us about this very important issue, and we will continue to follow as talks resume in Vienna next week. Thank you
so much for having me.